Greetings and salutations everybody, my name's Steve and welcome back to the Command Centre. Today we're going to have a talk about some of the rumours going around the 8th. Okay, we're going to chat about the chapter approved 2018 again. Now I've done a previous video on it where we had some leaks. We did a little bit of a point cost breakdown of what we I wouldn't say that we know, but you know, what's pretty much going to be there already happening. So what this video is going to be about is I've been just going through and checking around the community. I've been looking in the comments here on our channel, and I'm basically just going to address some comments and issues, and some people have made some really fantastic comments about what they'd like to see going forward into the new year and in the chapter approved 2018 as well. All right, and I've got a lot of theories as well as to like what might be going up, what might be going down in points, and there's some things that I've seen online, like on other channels, and I've seen some comments. I'm just kind of like, what? No, that's not going to happen. And look, I might be wrong. I mean, I don't know I probably know less than them really, but logically, I think there's a lot of players in the community, a lot of game players and stuff like that, and they're running around and they're calling themselves experts and things like that, and they are, 100%. You go to a tournament, you play a game, and you're a really good player. You win the, you win the tournament. It's fantastic. There's no arguments there. But when it comes to the business model, when it comes to knowing the corporate behavior about Games Workshop, I don't think it's really sort of justified to call yourself experts to be able to go out there and try to predict what Games Workshops are going to be doing. Yeah, so it's a different kettle of fish. You gotta remember, Games Workshop, is a business. It's a business model. Their releases, they're more worried about the money, all right, I'm telling you now, than what they're worried about the game, right? So I've seen a lot of people judging this from a gameplay standpoint, and yes, we should sort of judge this from a gameplay standpoint, but let's just remember who we're dealing with here and what they're about primarily, okay? Now, these guys have been very awesome lately, but prior to that, they have had a bit of a track record of being, focusing their products around profit, okay? Which is absolutely nothing wrong with that, but when we're going to do our predictions, let's kind of, stick to the facts. Remember, the points of the game, they're a modeling company first, right? Now, I'm not saying that that's correct. I'm not saying that that's right, or anything like that, but it's the fact, okay? They're a modeling company first. They're a games company second, right? They're there to sell miniatures. They're a business. The people up the top of the business, okay, are there to make money, right? Now, what you have to remember, yes, there's a certain amount of, the actual game mechanics and enjoyment that are involved here, but predominantly, a lot of the time, the point systems are based on sales as well, okay? And it's no secret, okay? And look, and I'm not saying that it's completely like that, okay? But in an example that I'm going to use a bit later, when we talk about everybody going off, I've heard people talking on other channels, oh, the Inari is going to get this massive point increase. Guys, they're not going to get a points increase, okay? If anything, they'll stay, they might get a tiny little bit of a points increase, maybe on a few units, right? But for the most part, they're just going to keep them the same, because it's very easy. You can have Space Marines performing, I can't say the word on YouTube, SHIT on the tabletop, right? And people are still going to bust out there and buy models, okay? They're just going to buy the models. It doesn't matter, okay? As long as they're playable, their Games Workshop are still going to sell the models, okay? So it doesn't matter. I mean, look, there's no secret. Space Marines are a mediocre army, right? And that's saying the least at the moment, okay? But yeah, 3 boxes, 3 Primaris boxes, 9 Primaris Lieutenants, they're selling, and they're keeping on selling. Games Workshop don't have to do much there, okay? But with the Inari, with the Eldar, with the Dark Eldar, yes, I personally think they're awesome. I have both armies. I don't have Dark Eldar, but I've got a Inari army, okay? And the thing is that with with these armies, okay, you've got to understand that there are people out there, hardcore players, that will be buying them, okay, no matter what. And there are hardcore players that are going to be out there, okay, playing them on the tabletop and playing them in the competitive scene, even if, okay, even if they're not going to be like a high-performing army in the meta, but there's going to be like people who are going to be playing them. And because the thing is that they're a very strategic army, okay? Space Marines, it's pretty much just like, it's a very predictable force, right? Space Marines, it's pretty predictable, but there's a certain amount of layered strategy in the Dark Eldar sides, okay? And, you know, and that appeals to more hardcore players, okay? I just, you know, look, gameplay-wise, I would play a Dark Eldar army like any day, all right, over a Space Marine army, and that's why I want to get one. I want to do one up, okay? You know, but I like the looks of Space Marines more. But the thing is that most of the people, like the mass consumer base, they are, you know, they're not going to the tournaments. They're out there, they're playing in the shops, they're building the models at home, they're playing at home, they're playing with their, you know, their friends and stuff like that, with their family members. Okay, so they're the people who spend the most money. And unfortunately, yes, look, Games Workshop will come along and they'll, you know, do points, tweaks, and try to make it more competitive, and they have gotten better. But unfortunately, guys, I mean, at the end of the day, it's all just going to come down to the bottom line and how much it's selling and what they want to sell this year, okay? And you've got to remember too that, like, you know, Marines are always the baseline when it comes to like a standard gameplay point, right? When it comes to a balancing point, you know, I spoke about this in like one of my other videos. You have to have a baseline army, right? That then all the other armies like are balanced from, and Marines are that army. Okay, it's very simple. Marines are the baseline. They're, you know, they're good at everything. They're the best at nothing. They're very easy for new players to come in and actually have a game, have a decent chance of playing a game, even against a pro, even though they might not win. Like, there'll be stuff, you know, there'll be turn 2, okay? They might not get tabled first go, okay? Like, it's, you know, it's very hard to stuff them up completely. Whereas some of those other armies, they're a lot more tactical. They're a lot more elite. Okay, so the thing is like, I mean, you know, with Eldar, with Dark Eldar, I mean, you know, yes, they're powerful, but there's a lot more knowledge involved, you know what I mean? Like, that you need to be able to learn to play the army. It's like Tyranids as well. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it's a very powerful army, but you put it in the hands of someone who, like, is new to the faction, then they're going to lose a lot of the time, mostly, before they start to winning, before they get the mechanics and stuff like that. So you got to understand that, like, Games Workshop will essentially, in my opinion, they're just going to go with what's going to sell the bottom line, okay? Now, with that said, the first thing, yeah, the Ynnari, they're not going to change much, okay? And the reason is because Games Workshop know that if they change them, okay, that people are going to stop playing them, and they're just going to stop playing them. They're, you know, Marine players will keep buying Marines, but I don't think, you know, people are going to buy as much, you know, Ynnari or whatever if they get nerfed. Okay, so I think we can see a little bit of increases there on some units, but the benchmark will stay the same. What I think they're going to do, okay, with the chapter proof and what we've seen in the, you know, apparent leaks that have come out, check out my other video on the channel, is that I think they're going to take an army and then they're going to lower that army, like say Space Marines, they're going to reduce points off that army and keep these more powerful armies at an equilibrium, okay? Keep them pretty much the same. That way, the players of those, you know, Xenos armies, because it was a year of a Xenos, okay? Do you notice a pattern going on here? Okay, all right? Basically, you know, and they're going to sort of like not be as, you know, unhappy, but the Space Marine players, by reducing them in points by about 10% or so, the Space Marines will basically, players will be able to compete better, okay, they'll be a lot happier. And remember as well, next year I'm pretty sure is the year of a Chaos, they're going to be coming out and you're going to need an enemy to, you know, they're going to want to sell those box sets, guys and girls. They're going to want to sell those, you know, Primaris and Black Legionary box sets with Abaddon on the front cover, okay, you know, and they're like 50 different shoulder pads and things like that, okay? And the Imperial Fist Primaris Captains Special Edition, only available in the store, okay? Sorry guys, gonna have a bit of a drink there, getting a bit excited. So, you know, that's the thing. Alright, now, the second thing I want to address is that there's been a lot of talk about Grey Knights being reduced in points and Grey Knights coming back. And with this one, I completely agree with it. And I think we can even see it in the evidence, okay? We can see it in the evidence of the of that leak. You can see Dragos come down, you know, Castellan Crows come down to like 80 points or something, okay? And again, they're reducing the power of some of these armies so that by allowing you to put more troops into the Space Marine armies, by bulking out the force, you're kind of passively, aggressively nerfing the Xenos armies, like the powerful ones like Dark Elder and that, okay? But you're not. So it's kind of like cooking a frog, you know, in a slow boil. It's like, yes, we've nerfed your faction, but we don't want you to feel like we've nerfed your faction. And that's kind of the way I'd be doing it if I was to do it. Because you don't want to upset the other players. But I think, look, I think Grey Knights, it's all on. I think they're going to make a comeback, and I think all the signs are there, okay? Now, the other thing I've been hearing a bit about in the communities is that apparently people are saying that custodes will get like a raise in points cost, okay? Because apparently the jet bikes are overpowered. No, I'm sorry, not in my opinion. That's just crazy talk, okay? I'll admit the jet bikes might be able to take a little bit of maybe a points increase by a few points, but custodes are not overpowered. They are not overpowered. They are suffering from the same problem that Grey Knights are suffering from, okay, that the Space Marines partially are suffering from, and that's being an elite army, okay? That's being an elite army and things being like extremely overcosted as well, okay? So, no, I don't think that that Grey Knights should be getting, custodes should be getting an increase, and I don't think that they actually will be getting an increase either. Okay, so so that's that one there. If they are going to increase things, I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. Why would you? I've seen other people say, oh, well, they'll up the shield captains and just the powerful stuff. But hang on a minute, it doesn't make sense. Why would you up the jet bikes and up the shield captains and then, you know, drop that Trajan Valoris down by 75 points? Doesn't that kind of like defeat the purpose of what you're doing in the first place? Like, if that's true. So I mean, guys, it doesn't make sense to me that you would go like to all this effort to equalize elite armies just to like buff up certain units. You know, and like as we discussed in the other video, look, Terminators I think will come down. Land Speeders we've heard are coming down, okay, all this kind of stuff. The other thing that's been going around is the fact that they're saying that, you know, -1 to hit armies are going to be getting removed or nerfed or something like that, okay, or more similar to the Orcs rule, which is like always hits on a 6, okay. Now, I'm 50-50 on this one, okay. And this is why. So because I can't see them changing things too much. They've already kind of nerfed those armies a little bit with their deep strike rules. But at the same time, I can see how it would be an issue. Actually, no, you know what? I think the only people that have an issue is like the Eldar. Okay, when you're like stacking that -1 to hit to already an army that can fleet and stuff like that. And, you know, when you get a whole army of those jet fighters and things, you know, flying around, those flyers, you know, that's when you're sort of going to get a problem. And you imagine your Imperial Guard army, you take a Baneblade, okay, I mean, I don't know, I guess you could take a Baneblade against an Eldar army, but I guess it wouldn't be my first choice, but anything, you're hitting on 4s, right? You know, Imperial Guard, you're hitting on 4s already. Then you get -1 for the faction, the trait. You're hitting on 5s. Then you got a flyer, then you're like -6. It's like, hang on a minute, guys. Why did we nerf the Fire Raptors again? Right? We nerfed the Fire Raptors like for this reason, right? Because there was a stacking buff. Yet this army has remained the same. And like what I'm saying is that if Games Workshop were going to remove this, they would have done it. But they're not going to because they want to sell models. Okay, I'm sorry, but they would have done it already. If they recognise the Fire Raptor as being a problem, okay, and, you know, they've still got Eldar armies that can basically do it. Okay, yes, there's things, you know, tracking markers and things like that, which can, you know, bring it down. And, you know, I know the Tau got their stuff, but really, like, I can't see them really doing much of it. I mean, maybe, but I'm not 100% sure on that one, so it's like a 50-50. I think that if they do that, I think it's going to change the outline of the mechanics too much, the actual balance of the gameplay. All right, so those are probably the main concerns that I wanted to address. You know, of things that I've been seeing, and I'm kind of like, yeah. The other thing is too that I saw about the Mechanicus faction, okay, AdMech. People are saying that they think they're going to get a points reduction. And I think they will. I think they will. I think that the Imperium in general is probably going to get a little bit more of a down, you know, like a lowering in cost. Because the thing is, if you're going to be releasing Chaos Crazy, then you're going to need stuff to compete with to like equal that balance out. So I think it's very important there that's been going on as well. In terms of Guilliman, now, we've had some discussion on the channel that people are saying that, you know, okay, yeah, Guilliman should be 300 points. And right now he's like 385 or something like that. I looked it up before. I can't remember verbatim. Check the comments of the first chapter approved 2018 video. And I agree. I think Guilliman is... I know, like, people are gonna, you know, like, fry me here for it, but I think Guilliman was very strong when he was first released, okay, before things like Dark Eldar, okay, but I think now with Dark Eldar, you know, when you've got an army that's hitting on 2s and 3s, you've got a 6-up Feel No Pain on everything, you've got poison weapons, it's like their really only weakness is mortal wounds because you've got the bodies on the board as well, okay. I kind of think that Guilliman is not worth the 385 points, and I think, you know, lowering and bringing back to like 300 points, considering that they're bringing back all the other commanders, you know, apparently a few points down a little bit, I think would make sense. Okay, I think he's overcosted. I don't think they're going to budge him much though. If they do budge him, they're going to budge him 20 points, but I think that Guilliman's just needs to come back down a bit. Guys, he's not as powerful as what people make out. Yes, when he came out first, he was, especially in 7th edition, when he had that, like, stack of special friggin' rules, and it was like, oh my goodness, you know? And I think he even had an extra save, like, on top of everything he's got up now. But now, like, what was it? One of the guys I played literally brought him down with Tau. Gunline Tau, just literally like, oh yeah, I'm just going to shoot 100 pulse rifles into him, you know, and yeah, okay, I missed with like 92 of them, alright, 94 of them, but you know, the other 6 were hits, oh, he's dead, okay, or he's got 9 wounds, or whatever it was, but you get my point, okay. So, so I really think that Guilliman, you know, needs to come down a little bit as well. And I think that that's where all the changes are going to come in. I think that, you know, they're going to go through and they're going to change the characters because, you know, Space Marine's also very much so about the characters, right? So, you know, if you're kind of going to bring down one army, you don't have to change, you know, the other army so much. All right, and I think that's very important. And yeah, so look, there's just a few things I wanted to address there in terms of all the discussions going on at the moment. Some things I agree with, some things I disagree with. Okay, and again, I've had some comments on the channel. People basically agreeing with me, just saying that, yeah, look, you know, custodes are the toilet cleaners, and you know, Grey Knights are, you know, like they're all garbage, like Imperial garbage. I mean, you know, anyone who's an Imperial player, you know, we're kind of getting laughed at right now by like the Eldar players, and I don't blame them. Good on them. Okay, but we all know that Games Workshop wants to sell more LR, so they've got to increase them on the tabletop. Now we see this kind of behavior as well with the Christmas boxes. We can kind of analyze what Games Workshop are going to do with the Christmas boxes, because you can see there that they're bringing out these Primaris boxes. Logic would kind of tell me that Games Workshop would probably try to like lower some points as well to have their points match with the releases as well. That would make sense to me as well. So that's the other thing. I do think Primaris will come down in points a little bit. Okay, I think that the only Codex Primaris was 2 codexes really. Well, not codexes because Raven Guard's not a codex, but Raven Guard and Death Watch. Okay, Raven Guard and Death Watch, and maybe Dark Angels for Plasma. But it's kind of just like, why would I take Dark Angels for Plasma, get my +3 damage, or 3 damage, when I could take them as Death Watch and have them protected, you know, like in my troops, as a troops choice, and get extra command points? So it doesn't make sense to me, you know what I mean? It just doesn't seem worth it. And I'm not saying Dark Angels are bad with Hellblasters, but I'm just saying that there's, as I always do on the channel, there's better options, okay? There's better options to it. And like one thing I've been looking at, I'm probably going to make a video on this. I'm trying to put together a decent Custodes army, and you know, I've got my good old, you know, Imperial Guard command point farming battalion there, but then detachment there. But then I was thinking, well, Custodes and maybe some Death Watch, mixing it around. And I'm looking at ways like, who should I bring in? You know, Blood Angels. And I was even thinking about bringing in Gilliman, and because he's very powerful, you know, to offset the Custodes melee, you know, goodness, and have a ranged army firing from up the back. But you know, once again, I thought, oh, Dark Angels. I had a discussion with my friend and Maddie, and you know, like, well, again, like, we're just not sure, because things just don't add up. By the time you pay for the Apocryphy, by the time you pay for the Chapter Ancient, and by the time you deck all those guys out, you put in the 2 commanders, you can literally have, you know, other options available to you that, you know, you're going to save like 300 points, and you know what I mean? And then the Apocryphy is only going to do so much, because, you know, for the point cost of him is like 60-something points. You can literally have 3 extra Primaris troops shooting. You don't have to bring it back. So it's kind of like that, you know. So yeah, and you know, and that's pretty much it. I just wanted to have a little bit of a discussion about this. Look, please, if you disagree with me on the channel, please let me know in the comments. Like, that's what this is about. It's just a less chat. It's not like meant to be this Uber video. It's just like a midweek video, you know, and things like that. So you know, chuck the comments down below. I'm always happy to you know, reply to comments, and I want you talking to me. Alright, everybody, so yeah, like, wicked, that's pretty much just all I wanted to say about that. You know, a few things. Also, I mentioned in the comments as well before, I think that rhinos as well need to just come down a little bit in points, and things like that. I think they're too overcosted. But anyway, okay, so look, I'm just going to get on with it a little bit. First of all, I just wanted to clarify something. So I had a comment from one of our, what I call the channel custodians, who are my first 10 subscribers on the channel, which isn't quite that long ago actually, because the channel's only been going for like 2 weeks and a couple of days. But Jonathan made a comment, and he said to me, Steve, look, I can't really, you know, donate or anything to the channel or anything like that. And my reply's there, and look, my comment, guys, I want to make it very clear to everyone right now, okay? I don't want you donating, okay? If you want to help the channel, you can like the videos, okay? You can subscribe, you can comment on the videos. Don't spam, but just comment constructively on the videos. And if you really want to help the channel, then tell your friends to share it, tell your friends to subscribe. Alright, tell your Warhammer friends, tell your mates at the store, share it around, post it around the Facebook groups, okay? That's how you can help the channel. Guys, like, again, like, I'm here, look, I just love this stuff. I'm not here to make money. I actually started this channel, okay, basically, because I was just sick of seeing all these people trying to, like, you know, rake in money and extort people, take advantage of people in our hobby. And I said, I'm sick of, like, watching all these YouTubers, oh, give me the Patreon to paint this, give me the Patreon to paint that, friggin', oh, pay for my stuff, you know, pay for my wife's Necron Titan over GoFundMe, okay, and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I will keep bringing that up because that was absolutely ridiculous. I'm sorry, okay, you know. And I just got sick, so I said I'm going to make this channel a channel that's there basically for the community and there to be there for everyone. And it's everyone's channel. It's not my channel, right? So, like, guys, like, I'm very unlikely to ever put ads on this channel. I've already decided, okay. Basically, I don't want to. It's not worth it. All it's going to do is take away from the viewer's experience, okay? And the $100 or whatever a month I'd earn, it's not worth it for me. I work jobs. Okay, I don't need to, like, you know, think. The only time I guess I would say when I might consider maybe doing something, but it'd be like sponsorships or something like that, is basically if, you know, we had, like, you know, 500,000 subscribers and I had to, you know, and people were demanding content like 3 times a day and I had to leave my 6 jobs and that kind of stuff. So then I might say I'd consider maybe, you know, getting sponsors or trying to do merchandise, some of that. But for now, please everybody, I'm very privileged to have you here on the channel. And I thank you for being here on the channel. And I want to learn from you on the channel. Some of these comments are absolutely fantastic, right? And it's just fantastic to see. So you don't have to send me anything. I appreciate it, the gesture. Thank you very much. If you want to send me, like, I think Adam was saying, like, hey, Adam was saying, you know, he's got all his World War II parts. He wants to know, mate, if you want to do it, do it. I'll pay you for the shipping, whatever. Do it. But at the same time, you know, it's not what it's about, okay? I'm pretty sorted, you know what I mean? Like, if anything, I'm going to be giving some stuff away. There's only so much stuff I could fit in my place. Like, seriously, it's just chockers. Like, these boxes are full of Necrons. There's boxes here. There's, like, cabinets full of stuff. There's, like, you know, Dark Angels, custom boxes, Knights. There's everything here. And like I said, I do work, so, you know, sometimes it's hard to get everything painted. But yeah, so look, that's just a little bit of a word on that. You know, if you're watching this, you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing to the channel, turning on the bell notification. It really helps us when you do that. If you're already a subscriber and you really love the channel, I know people, and I'm humbled and I'm flattered. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. The best way you could have the channel is not $1 a month over some rubbish website, okay? The best way you could help the channel is by sharing it around. Share it around social media, you know, keep commenting, keep getting engaged, and give me feedback. And give me feedback. That's the best way that you can help the channel out. All right, so yeah. So very special thanks to Jonathan, very special thanks to Adam, okay? And 2 of my channel custodians there, both of them were with me from a very early time. And I think we're gonna make like a little bit of a bonus thing. We're gonna have like we're gonna call it the Command Centre Wargaming Custodes. And they'll be like the elite guard and kind of stuff like that, and just for fun, whatever, like a bit of a role play, you know. Don't worry, I'm not gonna charge you for it, okay? So yeah, so anyway, look, a bit of an update as well on the prizes. So I'm not sure if you caught it in other videos, but we're nearly at 100 subscribers. At the time of making this video, I believe we're at 82. So we're nearly there. I'm going to start having to send these Marines out soon. And I've decided that I think I'm going to send out a few more. All right, because we've had a lot of comments now, and I don't want people to miss out. You know, and I mean, I've worked very hard at this channel. You know, as I said, I work a few jobs. You know, I don't just have one job, I have a few, and they're quite intense jobs. I'm not going to, you know, get into what I actually do for a living, but it relates to Warhammer and this kind of stuff, let's just say that. Games. But yeah, look, the point is that without you, I wouldn't be able to do this. So, you know, I don't want anyone to feel left out, and, you know, and things. So I might chuck another 3 prizes in there, you know what I mean? And we'll get a few more winners. And don't forget, I'm going to do another prize. I'll probably set the next prize at maybe 200, 300 or something. But we'll we'll basically make it like a kill team box, or, you know, a box set or something like that, or, you know, maybe some orcs, or we'll vote it on the channel. We'll vote on the channel what we want the next prize to be. I actually make a video for it and say, hey guys, what do you want the next prize to be for the subscriber awards, okay? And we got the painting competition and all that coming up. Now, on to that, all right? Let's get on to some actual stuff. So, Mr. Jonathan, thank you for your feedback, and you're right, we should have some more AOS on the channel. So, it looks like I've dropped some of that. Here it is. So, here is, I went and picked up these Elekeen Guard, alright? So here we go. There's some Deepkin. I'm going to be doing these guys up on the channel, alright? I've got some pretty cool stuff planned using Vallejo Liquid Copper, which I had here before, alright, which I'm going to use as a base, and then clear blue, clear green. I'm going to mix it up, going to make like a really cool sort of armor color with it. And then for the skin of these, I've had in mind, I thought, well, you know, they're in the water, so, you know, maybe I should they should kind of have like dead skin. So look, I'm not an advocate of Citadel paint, but it's just easier, like, because I was there, okay? So, you know, and I'm thinking, look, I might kind of layer it up, and we might get some, like, you know, because I'm thinking like barramundi or fish, you know, and these elves are meant to be like fishy. They've been in the water a long time, so it makes sense to me that their skin would be a little bit whiter, you know? And I'm thinking about doing that. And for the eels, I might do some airbrushing. I've got some stencils, some scaled stencils. So we're going to go through that. I might actually airbrush some scales and all that on there. So look, that's coming up on the channel, everybody. Okay, we're going to be doing this Age of Empire stuff here. And it's coming up. And we'll do a video, we'll do unboxing as well and all that. Okay, but that's here, that's getting ready. So thank you very much, Jonathan. And the other thing that happened, the other bit of news that happened, I went past my Games Workshop store on Tuesday to get a hold of the new Blackstone Fortress box. The manager came back, but he was back on the phone. I had to go back to work, right? So here's the thing. I could probably do it, go in the store and get it going on Thursday, because which is tomorrow. But the thing is this, like, by the time I get the video ready and all that kind of stuff, it's going to be Friday anyway, and like, I'm not going to be able to do a proper unboxing there anyway. Like, I'm not going to be able to show you anything else that different to what you've probably already seen on the other channels. So I'm picking it up on Saturday. I think it's Chini Boy or Boy. I'm not sure how to pronounce it now. I'm very sorry, mate. You're also a custode subscriber here. And so I'm making this Blackstone Fortress unboxing especially for you. Right? Otherwise I wouldn't do it, because I only want the Chaos Space Marines. I wouldn't, you know, to do a painting tutorial. I've got no desire to play it. But I'm making that special for you. And look, what I'm going to do, man, I'm going to do a sweet tutorial on Saturday, dude. Or Sunday, sorry. And it's going to be awesome. It's just that I haven't been able to get access to the box because, you know, I mean, like, you know, yeah. So I'm working it out with Games Workshop. The more subscribers we get, the more, you know, I can show this, you know, for Games Workshop to waste our time with us, okay? But I've got a very good reputation with Games Workshop and the company. I know a lot of people there, so it shouldn't be an issue. But like I said, I just figured, well, you know, there's also going to be news coming out. Like, it's going to be crazy. And chances are, even if I went in there, I start editing the video, and then, you know, chances are, by tonight and like Saturday or Sunday, chances are they're going to release another Primaris model, which I'm going to have to talk about as news. And it's kind of just going to be like, okay, well, what was the point in that? So with the videos, like I said on the channel, I don't want to be spamming content, okay? I want the videos to be unique, and I want them to add to the existing community. If I see that there's stuff that's already been covered, I'm probably not going to go into it unless you guys and girls request it. Alright, so that's basically that. So, yeah, fantastic. Look, I think that pretty much wraps it up for me tonight. And thank you very much for tuning in once again to the Command Centre. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll catch you all later. You have a great evening, great morning, wherever it is that you're from. See you in the next video, everybody. Awesome.